This really is a weird chair. I know that. It feels like a part throne, part spaceship, part sound booth. But it works. It does the trick for me. It's definitely my happy place, my meditation chair, my get work done chair. I should mention that I'm holding a stone in my hand that I just felt like grabbing today, which I think is really beautiful. It's called a septarian stone, which I bought from a friend a while ago. And one of the things that it's meant to be good for, other than grounding energies and things like that, is speaking, which I thought was really funny at the time. I think I've had this at least 2 years, and I never really thought I would find myself here speaking in any sort of public, non public way. Um, so it's Thursday, 7:15 p.m. I can't believe it. Uh, the house is really quiet because Sydney just took the dogs out and it's basically day over. I don't know where it went. I mean, it's like a joke of these times that time has a whole different feeling to it and a whole different speed and pace. And I guess I mentioned that I've been through one tank of gas in a week, which still blows my mind. Um, and I got a bunch of different things done today. I couldn't tell you what they are because I can barely remember myself. But I did have a bunch of really funny message exchanges with a friend where he said, "Oh, this will be very brief," and it was a one of those voice memo type messages, and it went on for 7 minutes. I could barely remember what the beginning of the message said. So then I was just laughing as I made a message and sent it back to him, which I could barely remember what I said. And he said he was taking notes on my message, and then I had to take notes on his message because, oh my God, time and memory, and it's all warped. But the crazy thing is, he's one of my favorite people. Um, and one of my favorite people to photograph. And we have been doing photos over and over and over for years. And we decided to pick a date to do more photos. And we picked a date in July. And I really had to look at my calendar and say, will I be able to get on an airplane in July? Because it's really hard to plan anything right now. Are we in the phase where I think a few weeks ago we all thought, well, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Are we in that part right now? Are we in the part that's worse? It's pretty bad in New York. Um, I'm going to say really bad. Not for me and not where I am specifically, but compared to the rest of the country, it's definitely worse here. So the idea of trying to buy a ticket for an airplane and trying to figure out if I'll have a place to stay on the other end or be able to rent a car, just all the little normal pieces that go into travel. July is May, June, July, 3 months. um, it's not far. It's not close. I can't imagine doing this for 3 more months. That feels insane. And maybe that's what's going to happen. Um, and it's rare that I would take a trip across the country just to do one photo shoot. So really, I need to figure out how to confirm three, two or three of them in order to make any kind of economic sense, although making economic sense was never my guiding principle in life. Um, Following my heart and having fun, these are my guiding principles, which is great if you can get away with it. Um, I get away with it a lot. Um, so I guess I'm just excited to see, God, like, is it time to put something on the calendar and say this is going to happen? I mean, I have to say, one of the event planners that I work with who is so amazing, who I know I've mentioned before, Jen Hawkins up in Boston. Boy, oh boy, when this all was just beginning, I felt like she was so far ahead of the game by rescheduling a giant event that I was meant to be shooting end of May. Very elaborate, very complex, at least 20 vendors involved. And she was sending out big emails asking everyone which dates in October, I think it was October and November maybe, that we could reschedule for. And I'll bet she's really glad that she did that then. I know the client is, we all are. And now there's even a little part of me saying, how are we going to behave in October? Um, I don't know. I mean, are people going to want to go to an event in October? And um, how are we changing the entire world right now? Changing the idea of planning, of logistics, of gathering, of being with other people, of sharing food, of hugging, of sweating all over each other, whatever happens at big parties and things like that. How about just big parties? I mean, we normally have a 4th of July party here, and I would like to still have that. And again, I don't know. Maybe it's time to just start visualizing the stuff that we want and start imagining it happening. And that is step one. Although I did say something about that to Sydney yesterday, like, oh, do you think we could start planning our 4th of July party? And he looked at me and laughed, like, what are you talking about? Well, is that so crazy? Is it so crazy to try to plan something for July? Even, I mean, my plans always change. I'm willing to scrap it if that's what happens. But I read a long time ago that sometimes the best part of a trip is the planning part. Um, it's the getting ready to go, anticipation, that sort of thing, and that's some of the best feelings that you get about a trip are in the planning stage of it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and plan some stuff for July and just put it in there like it's going to happen. So yeah, be in California in July. That's my plan. I hope it works. Uh, yeah, I can't imagine. I can barely imagine another month of this right now. And I've said it a million times. This is always my life. It's fairly low key and quiet, and I work at home and all of that. But I just miss being able to see friends and hug people, and I don't want to look at masks for the rest of this year. Yuck. I'm gonna have to start doing some beautiful, creative, like, I don't know, I could print on fabric and make really beautiful masks like this. Oh my God. No. No. Horrible. All right. That's it. 7:24. Time to think about dinner.